Hey, everybody, Websy here. How's it going? We are working on finishing up the runners for this kit. Oh man, last week we got so many runners done. I was so impressed. I'm so excited. This week we're going to get these runners done, and then while we're not on camera, we'll be getting these parts all washed and ready for painting. So that's what we got going on today at Websy Builds. Thanks for stopping in and checking us out. We're going to have a great time. Like, some of these runners aren't really runners. Like, they're just partial stands, which are really nice to have. Partial stands. Anyways, we are trying vertical camera mount today, so I hope everybody enjoys vertical camera mount. It's more authentic, you know. So what's up? Short stream. No, I'm still here. How's it going? Radiance. Is that what it says? Radiance. How's it going? Yeah. So we got a couple of these. This is all we got left for runners. This is what we got going on here. So we're just getting into it. Then we got these pieces to finish up for these runners that we did last week. We just didn't get to them, and I promised everybody that I would do all the work on camera for this build. So I haven't been building this build anywhere but on camera. So every live for the last like 2 months, it's all been me working on this build. So if you want to tune in and see other things we've worked on, that's what we got going on. Oh, the vertical camera reminds you of shorts? Yeah, it does. I mean, like, it has that that TikTok vibe kind of, So I was like, hey, maybe this will get some people stopping in and stuff and saying hello. So that's what we got going on tonight. These are some really cool runners that we're gonna be opening up though. So let's get to that. Let's open these big ones up, and then we'll do the little ones later on. Oh, it's all noisy. Do I need to turn my mic up a little more? How's that? Sound better? Hope it does. Red. Um, these have to be about the biggest beam effects I've ever seen for a high grade. Oh, this is no. I've seen bigger ones for other ones, but this is a high grade. So for this is pretty big. This is almost, I think, getting pretty close to like the Penelope size and scale for these. So these will be getting saved. I don't always use my beam runners. That's just it's my weird little quirk. However, all this looks pretty nice. Check this out. It's just like the two runners like almost meshed together really nicely. So we'll do one runner at a time. We're just gonna set this guy down in front of us. Oh, we gotta finish up these two over here. These parts. The reason why it took me so long with these is because I actually got to sand these because there's some work to do on here. Look at this. Do you see this seam? That's really ugly. I don't like that seam right there. So we're gonna scrub that off. So we take our trusty dusty single blade nipper. Any brand works because you're gonna sand it anyways. Just get it done. You know. Uh, Here you go. Not perfect. It's nipped, but it's not perfect. So, but there's no damage to the underneath plastic. Now, what does matter is these, right? Having the right sanding tools and stuff like that. One of my favorite sanding tools to start off with is usually a glass file of some sort. I got this really cool one. It's like see-through and stuff, and it's got like a super fine mesh attached to it. It's really good. Ooh, I forgot a nub. Anyways, has anything happened recently in Gunpla land that you are excited about, or Gundam World, or in the Gundam community? For me, I saw some of those previews for this year's Gundam kits, and I am excited to say the least. Some of them I am not, but some of them I am. It was a week ago that they released those or something like that? Or it was either last week or the week before that I saw the release. Alright, so we smoothed that down. Now we got to get rid of that other thing. So I think we're going to do a 280 because I think a 280 makes it a nice lady. Alright? I joke around with my wife. Don't worry, my wife's not a big girl. My wife's a beautiful girl. Anyhow. So we just do that real quick. Hit that. You don't interact with the Gundam community much. Not esoteric enough for me. Hey, I'm more of a all-around builder. I'm not much of a. I'm not into Gundam lore and stuff. Like I'm a fan of a couple of different series, but I'm not big into the lore and everything. For me, it's more about the art of the model building. Okay, that's more what I'm into, and Gundam is more accessible in model building than a lot of the model cars and a lot of the model planes and ships because those things are a lot more expensive and a lot harder to um, customize and add things to. They're really great models. You don't want in your head you're like I don't want to customize this car or I don't want to customize this airplane. But in Gundams you want to show off your creativity and stuff. So that's why I like to build it. And I like to do a lot of the building talking and stuff. Yeah. Lore. I was talking about building stuff. Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah. Well, there are, you know, there's me and then there's plenty of others. I I like to interact with everybody that I can, and I also like to, get feedback when I can too, you know. So the sometimes the Gundam community can be a bit, I don't know how to say it, an easy bunch to rile up. There you go. But they always mean well and they're a good bunch. I like them, you know. Like, I don't come from the purest form of the Gunpla community in any means, but I definitely, that's what I'm working on right now. So I love doing it, and I love doing my customs. Like I said, I don't stick to the lore. I don't fancy myself some enthusiast of the lore like that. And for the model building community in the lore, like those who are stuck with that, like, oh my God, you have to build it the way it is in the show. No, I don't think so. I think you can make some really cool models if you just build them the way you want. I mean, we got some pretty cool stuff going on here. This guy's pretty awesome. Let me grab some light. Come on, light. My light's not working. My light doesn't want to work. Oh no. I'm gonna have to get a new spotlight because the spotlight that I bought it broke. It fell and the LED just doesn't want to work anymore. So, but thank you for coming in and chatting with me. I appreciate it a lot. For me, the models are super fun. Whoop, whoop. So I'm just going through the paper grits. It's just like auto body sanding when I'm working on this stuff. My grandfather did auto body here in Minnesota for over 40 years. He was a professional. He used to paint high-end sports cars from Europe and stuff. They, you know, people wouldn't want to ship them back over and then pay to ship them over here again. So my grandpa, he learned how to do the painting and stuff over there and then came back over here and he opened up a shop that specialized in that type of stuff. Oh yeah. So now I take that stuff, that knowledge that my grandfather imparted onto me, and I use it in my model building. Uh, and it helps. It helps a lot. Makes for nice models. Man, my fingers are just clumsy tonight. Just clumsy. Where'd it go? Putts. It was blending. Uh-oh. Every night at 8 o'clock when I go live, it does not fail. Anyhow, here we are. We're in here. We're having fun. We're sanding. How about you? I hope you guys are having a good night. It's Friday, and you're watching me, so you're having fun, right? I hope you're building a model with me while you're working and watching me. That's always a fun way to do it. I like it when you guys build and communicate your builds with me. It's awesome. So in model land, I've really liked a lot of the models that have been coming out in the past year. I haven't, I've been spending my money elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like getting prepared to do other things and stuff like that. And I gotta fix my house up a little bit here and there. So I haven't been buying any of the new models that have been coming out. And that's not Bandai product either. That's like all models, you know. I haven't been getting anything. So I've just been working on, my backlogs here for a while. And that's about it, what you're going to see. And my backlog's a good backlog. It's a nice setup. There's a competition that just opened up that I'm thinking about joining in. I'm not gonna join as a pseudo, but I'm gonna quietly join, and I'm gonna ask the judges that they keep it quiet that I'm joining in that competition this year. I don't want anybody to hear about it. It's just gonna be a quiet, secret entry. Uh, I advertised I was in competitions the past couple of years, and yeah, it was fun and all, but this time I just don't want the people that I'm gonna be in the build against to know I'm in that build. Now a couple build offs have released recently that I've been invited to, um, and then there's just one that's just in one of my groups that just happens. So we'll see which one I join and which one I do. They all seem like they would be pretty much similar, so I might just slide in that one as all of them. You know what I mean? All right, and then after you get done with the sandpaper, I always recommend using a buffer of some sort, like a nail buffer for your fingernails. Now, excuse me with the hiccups. One side will be a very like light sanding grit with like 2,000 grit sanding, and the other side is a white buffing sponge. So what happens is if you don't want your parts to be looking like they're brushed metal when you paint them, and you want them to look like glittery smooth and everything, and really soft, what you can do is you can buff the part all the way back up to a smooth finish. So you can't tell it was sanded at all. And now it has a very nice smooth finish. That's what I got going on over here. Yep. This is just a free build that my number one fan, Kenneth Winchester, uh, said I should do, and I've been working on it ever since. It's like my side project, pretty much. When competitions come around, though, side projects get buttoned up real quick, and we move forward with the competition project. So that's what we got going on here. We're trying to button this up so we can move into a competition program. And so that means we're not going to rush this. I'm probably going to do like a partial assembly with this and bag it up. And with the partial assembly, I'll be able to um, isolate what I still want to paint on this kit to alter it and everything. Because I still plan on painting a lot of this kit. So, but I think it's a high grade, and I think we can get away with doing a partial assembly before paint, and it'll still look really nice. Now, this is also more than just a kit. This is the Gundam Narrative Apex. So the Narrative Apex, it's the Narrative Gundam, like the C packs and the B packs, except for the Apex comes with a giant mobile armor that it can equip. A community post. Oh yeah, I like community posts. I I do community posts, on nights where, I don't think I'm gonna make it to do it live on Friday nights, or if I've got something exciting that I wanna share with, my viewers, you guys. Um, yeah, that's what I use the community post for. And I try to keep it simple there. I don't try to overdo that. 400, 600. And you know, you don't have to like go 300 times with one grit. One grit, you know, just a few times. And just move on. There's, each one's going to do the cut that it needs to do. And as you keep going up each level, it'll cut out a little bit more and more on each side. And that's how you prevent it from warping the part, is when you add more to the cuts. Now if you sand down the lines that are here, you can just take your scribing tools or your gouging tools and you can just, you know, add a little extra. Or just hit it real quick. I can show you. I think I got one of those tools. No? No? Okay. There we go. We got this tool right here. It's got a little blade on it that's pointy. And you see some of the sanding has worn down one of those lines. We're going to take that. Uh-oh, this is the wrong one. We're going to have to go sideways. Don't worry, it'll still work. And you just scrape it along. And then now, when you look at it, it has more depth. You see that the line with the little piece of plastic sitting on it? And how it has more depth than the one next to it? That little piece of plastic, the little string right there, that's the plastic that I just cut out. Yep. Use up to 12,000. Ouch. Whew. That's a bit much. I say 12,000 is a bit much. This is 2,000. This buffer right here is 2,000, and then this is basically 12,000, I guess. How smooth that is, but no, I wouldn't do any more than that. I think we were on 800. All right. Not that one. Set these all at 800 real quick. What is that noise? That is awful. My little humans are trying to torture me over there. They're playing a noise that only I can hear. I know this trick. Tricking Dad, trying to give me a headache. Hold on, I'm gonna take a drink break. Hydrate, everybody. In the words of my friend Queen Valina, hydrate. So yeah, make sure you hydrate. All right. And just gonna buff everything real quick. All right, and I'll give you a before and after look. I don't know how good of a look it's gonna be. This side is the after. This is the before. Yeah, I don't think you can really tell. You can't tell the difference. Alright. Yeah, just got a couple more parts. This one I think I could just skirt on by with this though. Hold on. Yeah. Today, well, I wasn't doing anything here. I was, oh, nice. Which communities do you mind saying, or are you a little bit shy? All right, that worked out really nicely. Don't have to go back and sand anything, but we can buff it. So this is the other method. Use the glass file, get it all nice and smooth. How many of the comments can I see like this? So I got so there's like a 15-second delay on your post to me seeing it and then saying it back to you. So, and then there's another 15-second delay for you to hear it. So it's a 30-second delay total. So give me like a minute to answer between you posting questions, but I'll definitely answer your questions as I see them come in. And then, yeah. As for you posting in your other places and other spaces, that's great. Go ahead and share your work. That's amazing. I encourage it. I encourage everybody to share their work. The only thing is be prepared for criticism and don't take it as negativity. Approach it with positivity. Um, or don't take it negatively. If anybody ever gives you criticism on your posts or your parts or your anything you're working on as a model or a hobby, if they offer any kind of criticism, don't take it as an insult. Take it as them not understanding how to approach the topic of, hey, I know this really cool idea and it would be great if I shared it with you. But sometimes they go, oh, you should do it this way, and not sharing the right, not having the right idea on how to share. Some people just don't know communication skills. I, for one, am one of them people. I've made this mistake tons of times myself. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because I know this mistake exists within the community. And don't think of it as like somebody's knocking on your work. It's more of them saying, hey, I want to help you do better, and I want you to know that there's access to do better, or um, whatever, whatever that might be. I've had people come and tell me, "Hey, man, did you know if you did this with your models, your battery power would be better, and you'd have more access to lighting on your kits if you worked with these products from this place." And I was like, no, I didn't, but thank you. I just thanked them. And even though I haven't used the product they were telling me about, I, didn't get upset, didn't get offended, didn't think they were like telling me my stuff didn't look good. They were just saying, hey, I see what you're doing there. You might like doing this too, is kind of that. So take any kind of feedback you get when you post, not as any kind of insult or slight to you, unless it's obviously an insult or slight. You know what I mean? Like then just ignore it. Don't give it the energy. The energy is what they're looking for. Okay, so just don't give them that energy. And you'll be fine. That's one of the things you got to put that in all your different life aspects too, though, right? Like if you approach all their life things with this type of thing or mentality of not feeding negative energies, you'll be more successful. You'll have a lot more successful work. At least that's how I see that. Your entire internal structure from the scratch to help me make my idea work. There you go. Hey, but your idea worked, right? Like that's where we're at with that is yeah, you had to make some modifications. You had to do some changes, but you're getting there, and the final product is going to be rewarding. You'll be you're rewarded with the satisfaction of you doing what you set out to do, and that's the big number one thing right there. The same thing with me. Whenever I build a model kit or whenever I do some painting or whatever, I'm always setting up to do great. Okay, I can show you. I'll show you what I mean. Because I'm working on something in the painting world, and if I share it with you guys, you'll get what I'm saying. I'm new. I'm new to the airbrushing world. I'm new to doing all sorts of things, right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what being new to something looks like. This is my first attempt at freehanding 2 feathers and a medicine wheel. I'm Native American. My father, he wants me to practice this so I can paint this on the tailgate of his truck on one side or the other. I don't know where he wants it yet, but he wants me to practice this. So this was my first attempt. Now, if I don't want to bring it too close because the light will get stuff, but we can just move the camera so you can see. Not too bad. The feather looks good. The beads look okay. All right. So that's my first attempt. That's what that looks like. All right. My second attempt is this one over here. This is my second attempt. In this one, I learned everything I could from doing the first one, and so on and so forth. And then the third one I did, I learned a little bit more. I found out what I wanted my feathers to look like more and more, and so now I'm on the process of I'm studying these. I'm remembering what I did to do what I got and all that fun stuff. And so this is what learning a new skill looks like to someone. And even in the modeling world, in Gunpla or car models or whatever the hobby may bring you to, um, those those skills you just gotta keep practicing, keep fine tuning, and you see, each time I did something, it changed a little bit. I was trying different things though. I was using different types of stencils and backgrounds and papers and seeing what was going to work for me on that. Each person has to learn their own way of how to express that art in that medium. So this is an example of me expressing the Gundam art. This isn't how this comes out of the box. This is 2 different Gundams put together. People call them kit bashes. I just call it custom, because it's very custom. This is a Perfect Freedom and a Victory 2 Gundam put together, and I call it a Perfect Victory. So it's a really nice build. It's got some really good details on it. Super fancy. You know what I mean? I put lots of work into it. It's a good kit. I'm really happy with it. Very proud of it. Um, and it's great. I loved every minute of that build. It was super custom, and it took me quite a while to get done with it. So it was a fun build. I probably put about 60 hours into that build. I went real quick with it. I did a technically a 3-color build, but it's each part really only got 2 colors separated into it. So it was like it was faster. I didn't have to put as much time into it for the colors, for waiting on paint and stuff to dry, and then taping and paint to dry and taping and paint to dry. So things like that. Less colors used do speed up your paint process. More colors used on a painted product, no matter if it's a Gundam or a car or whatever, the more colors you use, obviously, the longer the product's going to take to finish for that. So these models are just fun, guys. Just have fun. That's all I want. I just want to have some fun. You know what I mean? I got so many fun models too. I'm over here just sanding away, having a great time. You can see all my bins and stuff. I'll move it around a little bit. I can show you my first model. You want to see my first Gundam model that I ever did? Over almost 20 years ago now? I'll show it to you. There's not much to look at. Check it out, guys. Here it is. Here is the first model. This is what started it all. This little hunk of plastic that I'm holding on to. I'm not letting it go anywhere. This is just, I am so sad it's in the condition it's in. I do have the replacement kit to rebuild this model and make it look amazing. I'm gonna do the same color scheme, the same layout that I did on here, and hopefully it all turns out good. Except for all the overspray that's on it now won't be on it. This is all like overspray from being. I used to hang it up. It was hung up in my paint booth, but this is my first Gunpla. This is the first Gunpla I've ever built. ever. So this is what's left of it, anyways. I used Tester's enamel rattle cans to paint this Gunpla. Uh, this was way back in the 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 Stone Age of Gunpla is what I call it. But back when model enthusiasts scoffed at you mentioning customizing Gundams, that's when that kit was bought and built. So long ago. There's no video of me building it because I didn't do videos of building kits back then. Back then I just purely built kits just to build them. And then I threw them away or blow them up or do whatever I wanted, you know. I wasn't one of those people that saved things back then, but today I save things. All right, we got 600 grit going on this part. All right, sanding out these nub parts and stuff. It's really relaxing sometimes. But this is a seam that we're getting rid of, and I'm not a big fan of seams that I don't like. You know what I mean? Like if it was a seam that I'd be okay with, like maybe we could work something out of that or we could do something with that, it'd be all right. But no, these ones are just in the way and tacky looking. So we're gonna get rid of them. Have fun doing that. I'm on 800 grit now. Like I said, we just go through them real quick. We don't stay on them long. You don't want to wear down your sandpaper. Like this has been through 20 model kits, you know. So yeah, these sanding sponges last quite a while. I'm surprised, except for thousand grit. Thousand grit kind of gets eaten up fast, and that's all. I think that's just the curse of thousand grit with me. I think it always just gets eaten up real fast. Ate it up, so it gets eaten. Yeah. So I've been playing No Man's Sky. The new thing came out. 21 came out this week, and I already locked myself out of it. Don't take the portal off the planet before you can, or before they let you, because I did, and now I'm stuck. So I'm gonna have to wait until it's reset time, and I'll reset to another one. I think that's how that works. Nice. Last September. Last September is a good time to start on things. Through the cold, when it's starting to get cold out, you're spending more time in the house. Give yourself something to do so you don't go stir crazy. That's what a Gunpla was originally for me. I'm a disabled father of four, so I wasn't disabled when I had the kids. Okay, I was a well, healthy, working person, and I am now disabled. So I used to be a floor sander and a classically trained chef. And you put those two careers together, and it's a lot of damage on the legs that you're doing. Twisting and turning as a chef all the time, back and forth from your fridges to your cooking stations, and then as a floor sander, you're constantly moving on the floor to get the floor done. So yeah, that is my little life story for you, who I am, why I do this. Don't worry, um, we're making the best of it. I'm the parent that raises the kids. I wash their nose and I scrub their clothes and I feed them their food. I do everything their mother would do or would have done. Mm, something landed off in my drink. That's disappointing. It's all my fault too. I'm gonna have to go get a new drink. I'll wait a little while though. So yeah, all right, we finished up with those two things. Now let's get to nipping. So for those of you that do know, I have a two nipper method. I have a black handle nipper, and I have the blue handle nipper. All right, now the black handle nipper I got from a store called USAGS or USA Gundam store, and then this one is the infamous. What is it? SPN 120 or whatever, or SP 120. It's the GH, the best nipper ever, as people exclaim it. I think it's hype, but you know. What I do know is this blade from USAGS, the black handle, is twice as thick. It has 2 times the blade thickness, so it's more durable. And now what they don't tell you, or what you don't might not realize, is on these runners there's tension. These parts are put under tension so that they stay, and they're not supposed to warp or anything. And that tension, when you start cutting this piece, you've released some of this tension. And every time you release more and more of the tension, the piece releases from the part. Well, that tension vibrates on this blade. And when you have this half, like a flimsier blade like this, on this tension, that vibration could cause the blade to snap. So that's one of the reasons why we have the 2 nipper method. Now, we use the black handle to nip the part out, and we just pick up the blue handle, remember where those nubs are, and just give them a quick clean cut. We're going to clean it up even more with some sandpaper and everything, because these are big parts and they're going to be seen, so we're not going to leave them looking messy. I'm confident the glass file should do the trick. Yeah, confident the glass file will do the trick. And that's how we do that. And we're just gonna, I like to power through though, so I'm gonna nip everything out with the black handle, and then we'll put it in the bin, except for these really long pieces like these. And then after I nip everything out with the black handle, we'll go through and we'll clean them up with the blue handle. And then after we clean them up with the blue handle, as we're going through them, we'll see which ones need any kind of sanding or anything done to them. And if they do, we'll give them sanding. If they don't, we'll primer them and then sand them again, and then primer them. And then that usually creates good quality product. Now you can also use paints that don't require priming, and those are called primerless lacquers. There are a few brands on the market I've heard of, and then a couple of them, they say you can go primerless, but they offer you a primer just in case. They're also really nice. And then there's also lacquer enamel team products like Allclad, where their bases are all lacquer and their tops are all enamels. It's a pretty interesting company. I like it. I use their product a lot, actually. Um, I don't I don't get paid to promote for them, but I really like the Allclad 2 product. It's very nice. I can show you what I mean when I say it's very nice. Here is the finalized product of an Allclad 2 Chrome. And look at that shimmer. Like chow. So up close, it looks good up close too. And look at that. So this is what I was talking about. So the chrome is a lacquer, but that yellow or the gold, that is an enamel. And it's made by the same company, and they're designed to work together. Not a lot of lacquers and enamels like to work together, because if you accidentally put enamel under lacquer, you can create what's called a hot reaction, and it can melt your product or melt the part, or it can bubble up if it's metal and you're working on auto body. It'll bubble up if you put enamel under lacquer. So that's something to think about when you're painting, if you know anything about that. Stick to one brand, or if you do switch brands, make sure you're checking if that brand works with the brands you used previously, so you know how you're working with things. I only use 2 kinds of lacquer products, and I use one water-based type paint product, and they're just the generic products. I use Createx as my water-based generics, and I use a product that no longer exists in lacquer, or you can't buy them anymore, so I don't tell people what it is, but it's just an old paint that used to be available, and they don't make it no more. Now, the new brand that I recommend people try is Odinkan or Odinkan. It's Odenkan. And it's a really good brand. I really like it. They offer a large vector of colors, which is very nice. I like having a large vector of colors to choose from, especially in the model building world where sometimes you need a specific kind of chrome or brass or a specific kind of green, and the usual just won't do. Won't do. What's up? A friend of mine uses rattle cans. Very good finishes. Yes, very rusty Shenlong. I know, it's super rusty Shenlong. It's like I said, it's one of my oldest. And rattle cans, I have a friend of mine, his name is Leo. He does a lot of work with rattle cans, and a lot of his stuff just comes out phenomenal. But he has the patience for that. And Leo takes their time and works real hard at it, and it's really good. Great quality products. And yeah, so Leo does a lot of master grade Gundam customizing. He's a pretty great guy. I hang out with him in a Discord server. Nothing wrong with that, right? Pew. Okay, and then so I usually take the letter and put it with the pieces as well. This piece right here, I call it the letter, but I put this with the pieces so I know what runner these pieces are. And then I have a box that holds the empty runner. Just in case I didn't get all the pieces off the runner, I can go back and collect that runner. Now at the end of the build, I just throw them all away, because the build's done and it's over and I don't need to look for the part. However, sometimes that's not the case. Alright, I have these handy dandy little bins that I also use, and they can stack on top of each other with parts in them and stuff. And that's what you're seeing right here. All these are all parts for this high grade, and so are the 13 other bins for this kit. This is one of the most expansive high grades I've built in a long time. So it's a fun build. I enjoy building it so much. In the high grade world, I'm going to look up some Gundam news articles here in a little bit on the laptop once I get it loaded up. I think that's what we're going to do next, is we're going to see if there's anything. Oh, this kit also comes with a nice black stand that holds it up. Apparently, but I'm not sure. All right, let's get the old humdinger going. All right. Just let all my brushes fall back there. Get that old camera going. Get it all rolling. I do know there's some anniversary stuff going on in the Gundam community here. I'm excited for some of that. Was it the G Fighter anniversary is coming? Or did that just pass? I'm so out of it. That's why I said, like, some people expect me, oh, he's the Gundam model guy. No, I'm not. I'm the custom model guy. I like to make custom models. But some Gundam news is always good news. So let's see what's going on. Let's type in that password and let the internet load her up. Alright. Alright. We'll keep working on parts while we're doing all that. Probably give ourselves some. Woohoo! Uh-oh, what happened? Where'd it go? Oh, I set it down here. Oh, come on, I don't want to do this again. Yeah, we're just letting the internet connect to my laptop. My laptop's about 4 years old, so it's a little slow. The prepackaged antivirus wore off. And I'm the kind of guy, if I went looking for new antivirus, I'd get a virus looking for it. So I don't even mess with that stuff. I just let my computer be. I stay off of this thing as much as I can. I use it to collect all my images and papers and videos and stuff. So, and then I also use it to just watch YouTube. That's all it gets done. That's all I use my computer for. I used to use it for streaming, but the the graphics card can't handle the streaming I want to do anymore. My cameras are too good for it. Oh, no, not right now. Don't want to make changes. Let's see. Is there a home page we can hit? Come on. Oh, I got music. Let's see. What's in the news for Gundam? Gundam sets a new gold standard with Gunpla expansions for fan favorite anime mecha. Looks like the Hayakushiki is getting its backpack finally. That's something new, right, guys? There we go. Let's see. You typed something, didn't you? Okay. Keep some of your runners, especially the T-shaped runners. Yes! I'm just waiting to see you check out what I got. I can't check out what you got right now. I'm locked out. My phone is my camera. Okay, my cell phone is my camera, and my laptop is not connected to any social medias except for YouTube. So, I mean, I suppose I could try and get it to show me on YouTube. Is that where you're posting? Is on YouTube? I thought I had asked you. Whatsoever. A friend of mine uses. Yeah, see, you did post it on YouTube. Awesome. So I will go look there. Give me just a moment. Da, da, da. Oh, no, no, no. Um, uh, you have such a long name. Is that an L1004? Okay. You did not come up. Hold on. You definitely did not come up. Spelling not crazy. Radiance. Oh, Jesus. I'm horrible at spelling, aren't I? Now some more stuff that's popped up. Videos unwatched, recently uploaded. Still nothing. I'm just in the top search bar on YouTube. They don't give me a search by channels option on my laptop. I'm working on it. No, it won't. It didn't show you your link post. Sorry. Just give me a second. All right. I think YouTube is finally working. I just went to Google and searched you up on Google. It's not bringing.
Do I know how to be serious? Yes.
Hmm? That doesn't make any sense. I think that's wrong. Oh, finally. Alright, I see what you got going on here. Oh, that's cool. That's really nice. I like how that looks. So is that all held together with pressure? Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of reworking there. That's good stuff. I like that. I've reworked some stuff like this before, and I commend you because this is tedious work. I commend you a lot because that's very tedious work. So I'm subscribed to you. I don't know why I didn't. See, that would have made more sense. No, that looks amazing. Keep going. Keep going with it. I like all that. All right. The transformation mode looks pretty cool too. It looks almost like the samurai armors in their when they're on display from Ronin Warriors. If you've ever watched that show, metal joints. Metal joints are cool. I could dig that. I have built a metal frame Barbatos before. That was fun. And then it was a pretty good build. I enjoyed it. No complaining. So I'm sure you had a lot of fun getting that customization together. I don't have the kit over here right now. It's way over on the other side of the room. And it's dark in here, and I'm scared of the dark. No, I'm not scared of the dark. I'm joking. But I don't want to fall and trip while holding it. But I do core Gundam customizations. And I rework the inner frames of the core Gundam. From the core Gundam to the new frame that I'm giving it. So, like, if I do, like, an Iron Blood Orphan's body, I I gut it out and then I remodify it so that the core Gundam can just attach to it and look like it's natural. Like, it's a really cool effect. I don't know how else to say it. But I don't have any of them over here right now. They're both on my other stands. Yeah, it's fun to talk about though. It was a fun build. The parameters of those builds are just to execute what it would look like for the core Gundam to wear that Gundam as an armor. Because I think every core Gundam armor could be just a different Gundam or a different mobile suit. You could even make a core Zaku. That's something that's in the future for me. What I got actually is a shorter than your perfect victory. All right. A little shorter. It's not too bad though. Like, you know, um, like the F91's also short too. And it's a pretty powerful Gundam. In theory on Gundam, the creators they joke that the smaller the Gundam, the more powerful it is. So, or that's like an ongoing trope, I guess you would say. And that's why Barbatos is technically so powerful is because he has like almost no armor and he's a really small Gundam. At least that's the trope. And then F91 coming in super, super short with that super powerful chest blast. That's crazy. Like the vents, I think, create like this weird chest blast on F91. There's some really interesting parts to that Gundam. I want to build the Master Grade. I also want to build the Cow Gundam. That's one that's on my list of wants to build. I don't have it in my backlog, but one day, I think one day they'll make a real grade Cow Gundam, and it'll be worth it. I think it's P Bandai. I'm not sure. If you don't know what Cow Gundam is, it's just a joke. Actually, binders are also made from scratch, and despite being able to transform and split into several parts, it's still very articulate. Yes, it is. It looks really good. Like I'm in awe of how it's like you took the Gundam and like really put forth that effort to think like how would the machine work properly and still transform it. So you did a great job. I can't get beyond it. It's still in my head going, yeah, yeah. So I've created some small instances of that, but I have not gone to the scale that you have gone. In any kind of capacity. That is just I am flabbergasted. So it's amazing. Um, Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Right now, I am. Oh man, I'm getting towards the end of the show here tonight already. It's getting just. I'm having a great time though. I got like another 15 minutes before we're gonna get out of here. All right, we got one runner done while we did all that talking and hanging out and everything. That was fun. Oh well, technically one runner. I'm skipping some pieces. So we got one of these did, and I got to do this one still. So some of these pieces don't have to worry too much about them. Oh, that's awful. So I finally beat the original 3-piece storyline for No Man's Sky this week, which felt great. Let's see, you haven't shown it, but I made the hard points on my high GC B2 actually function. They can use either brass rods or neodymium magnets. Magnets, yeah. Magnets are cool. I have some magnets on my high new Gundam, real grade. I bought the heavy weapons system for the new Gundam, and I modified it to fit on the real grade high new. And one of the things I did was I used magnets to attach the pieces instead of drilling holes on everything. So I hid the magnets in good spots, and also save your nubs. Save all your clippings, your nubs, because small parts might lie in them. I know I didn't see any this round today, but I'm just saying, in the future, you'll never know how small of a part you're going to use or have. Like these little V fins, or just like this little plate right here is a small part to me. Even the hand, that's a small part, you know. So it can hide inside of a pile of nubs. You know what I mean? Like I'll show you guys the little nubbins over here. Right there, that's the nubbins pile right there for this kit build. And then I just vacuum it all up. Alright, so I want to thank you all for coming out, hanging out with me tonight. Had a great time chatting and doing all those fun things. You guys are wonderful and amazing, and I love coming here every week and putting on a live show for you guys with my models. So keep coming back, keep checking me out, keep leaving those comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're already not there. And for all you wonderful people who watch my show after it's live, I appreciate you guys all as well. You keep watching my show after it's live. If you comment while you're watching the show, I'll get those comments and I'll come back and answer those comments while you watch the show. Might even watch the show again with you. I don't know. But thank you all for coming back, and I had an amazing time. We'll see you all next time. Thank you so much, Radiance, for coming in.